Welcome back to the Thick AF podcast. This is Sarah.
And this is Emily.
Happy to be back with y'all.
Yes, happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Yeah, it's hump day.
Remember that commercial that they used to have with the camel?
Yes, I do. And it would be like,
hump day?
It would stick his neck in the cubicles and stuff.
You know what day it is? Do you know what today is?
And they were like, yes, it's hump day. It was a hump day. I'm pretty sure that's where hump day came from.
What's his name? Mike. Or no?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Mike.
I can't remember.
Or is that the camel from like Camel cigarettes?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Mike. I mean, camels look like name. If I had a camel, a pet camel, I would name it Mike.
You would name it Mike?
Yes. Would you not?
No, I feel like I would name it Tony.
Because it has only one toe, a camel toey.
Oh, shit.
Camel Tony.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's got a camel toey. Tony.
L-O-L.
Jeez Louise. Tony's like a tiger's name.
Yeah, but I mean,
I just feel like
why can't my camel also be named Tony?
Tony and Mike both sound like dudes that are like,
yeah,
like names.
Meatheads.
Yeah, meatheads, like Mike and Tony. Like, yeah. I'm pretty sure Mike and Tony, and they're from the Jersey Shore. I'm pretty sure there's the Mike and a Tony.
Gym Laundry.
GTL. Remember that? I used to do GTL.
Oh my god, me too. I loved it.
Yep.
I went to college with a bunch of Guidos.
I didn't.
It's also why I left.
But we watched the Guidos on TV.
Absolutely.
Great stuff.
It was hysterical. You couldn't get better than, like, at the time anyways, white trash, like, on the shore being so drunk that they can, like, barely even function. It made you feel a lot better about your life.
Yeah.
And then they got famous, and now they make better choices.
But
come on.
But they did that stupid stuff, and they got famous, and now they're rich because of it. And I haven't done anything stupid, and I'm thinking I'm going to get rich for not doing anything stupid, and it's not going to work. So that's why I made a podcast.
I mean, I can definitely start being your production crew and video you doing some stupid shit and see what happens.
But what would I need to do, though?
I don't know.
Would you rather...
you want to start with that?
Would you rather be rich? And here's my would you rather. I just made it up.
Yeah.
Would you rather be rich because you were dumb, or poor because you're smart? I guess, people think you're smart but poor, or rich but people think you're like stupid and you're like Jersey Shore material.
I would rather be rich and stupid because I can still go get an education.
But why would you want to?
Yeah, but who cares?
There's no reason to get an education after you got all the money.
I mean, really and truly, they're making money off their personalities. And I have a great personality, so I'll go make some money off that, even if people think I'm stupid. Who cares?
There you go. All right.
What about you?
I mean, duh. I'll be dumb and have the money. I'm good. I don't care. Oh, Lord.
Okay, my would you rather is, would you rather have to watch the same, like, 3 movies over and over and over again for the rest of your life, or know the ending to every movie that you watch for the rest of your life? Like, if you're going to watch a movie, you're going to find out the ending first.
Know the ending.
Me too. I still want to watch the new movies.
I like to know the ending. I like to Google the movie.
Oh my god! I know
the TV show and try to figure out. I'll be like, did so and so die? When did they die? Because I don't want to watch it. Like, I want to be like, I hate the anticipation, and I'm like, I'm too scared. Especially scary movies and stuff like that. I will Google the outcome. I'm like,
I'm not watching scary movies.
I don't watch scary movies either.
I hate it. It's the worst. Listen, I don't know if I've said this on here before, but I'm going to go ahead and admit it. When I was heavily watching Pretty Little Liars when it was
that was so scary.
Yes, I wouldn't watch it by myself in the dark.
Same.
Like, I had to have a cutoff point at night and change it to something happy before I went to bed.
Yeah,
I was like a tiny child.
Same with The Walking Dead. Like, I never got scared to death from that. like the cannibal episode where they like, oh my God, they like,
That sounds terrible.
everyone that watches The Walking Dead knows what I'm talking about. That's the best season in my opinion, but it's also the scariest and like that is crazy.
I just don't really do scary. Like, I remember one time being out at my parents' house with Melanie. I must have been house sitting or something. And it was when that Sandra Bullock Bird Box movie came out.
Yeah.
And Melanie was like, let's watch this. It looks good. And I was like, no, it looks scary. I don't want to watch it. And she was like, okay, we'll turn it on for 15 minutes and then we can reevaluate. I watched the whole damn thing and it was
But it's
great.
not really a scary movie. So
No, but it's the suspense. And
Yes.
that
The
also
suspense
triggers
gets me too.
Yes,
Yes.
it triggers my
Yeah.
anxiety big time.
Same, like that's what I watched The Menu recently, and I was like, I watched the trailer, and I was like, no, that's scary. They're like, it's gonna be so bad. And have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. I've seen it like 3 times.
It is so good. But Brandon was like, I thought it was going to be a food movie because, you know, Brandon went to culinary
I mean,
school.
it was technically,
Yeah.
And
but
you know that they made that food on, like, I watched the little thing, that clip thing afterwards or about the movie, and they all the food that they ate, the people in the kitchen that were in the show made that food and brought it out to the table.
That is
Isn't
so
that
wild.
crazy? I know.
No, I was very unhappy once I figured out what it was because I was excited. I thought it was like some, you know, rom-com chef movie. No, the hell it was not.
Rom-com? Did you watch? I watched the trailer.
No, I didn't watch it.
You
Brandon
need to
turned
watch
it
trailers.
on, and I
Oh.
trusted him to make good choices.
Yes,
He knows
you
I
gotta
don't like
stop
scary
trusting
movies.
people.
I know I do. Damn. Who you telling?
Don't trust us. Sheesh.
I know. It was awful.
Yeah.
So worth a watch, though.
It is a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very good movie. I would definitely recommend that.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So,
An FMK? You got one?
okay, FMK for today is taking us back to the 90s, baby.
Okay.
I guess they would be the 90s. So, I have so many of these. I can't,
Just do a few. if you
So,
want.
okay, so Polly Pockets,
Mhm.
those sky dancers, remember those? Where you like, they were like the
Oh.
dolls, you pulled the thing and they flew in the
Yes.
air.
Oh my
Or Trolls.
Okay, well, those, what are they called? Sky what?
Sky dancers?
Those things were dangerous.
Were they?
Yeah.
No, they weren't.
My God, me and Jerry had them. Them things will get you good if you, like, we used to, like, pull them and, like, hold them next to each other.
Oh,
like,
that's so messed up. Like,
try to
y'all are
slice an arm off.
terrible. I was never, like, I would never be like that. I was always like, oh, I don't want to hurt
I don't
anybody.
know. I mean, growing up, Jerry was definitely more girly than I was, but we had boy neighbors, so we were all mean to each other.
I had boy neighbors and stuff too, but nobody was ever like
Oh my
shooting
God, we were so
sky
mean.
dancers at each other.
Yeah, we were bad. I did have Polly Pockets, but I think, and Jerry, don't get mad at me if this is untrue, but I think she had Polly Pockets, and I didn't. I mean, I feel like I've got like fat hands and fingers, like chubby fingers. I didn't
And
play
you
with
did
little
as
tiny
a
shit.
baby?
I don't know, but I just didn't play with like little things.
I loved Polly Pocket.
I don't know.
My cousin Megan still like has all of her Polly Pocket. So her parents moved from their childhood home and they were like getting rid of everything. They were like, do you want anything from this house? Like furniture and stuff probably too. And she was like, the only thing I want is my Polly Pockets.
No.
I thought that was great.
I mean, we had some trolls, so this is hard for me. I think I am going to kill Polly Pocket. I'm
Okay.
gonna marry the Sky Dancer.
Why? Because you like to shoot people?
That's the most entertaining. And then, I mean, I liked trolls.
Me
They
too.
were-
I like
they
the
were
ones
cute,
with the
little
diamonds, the
belly
jewel
buttons.
belly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna kill the Sky Dancer.
Damn.
I liked them, but like I like all three. But I think that I like next probably I'm gonna marry Polly Pocket and fuck the troll.
Damn.
Because Polly Pocket's got her own home and everything. She's like settled down and she's ready to be my wife. She's a wifey material.
That's hysterical. She is wifey material.
Polly Pocket. She was teaching us all how to be a wife.
Oh my gosh. That's hysterical.
I obviously didn't learn.
Me either. Don't worry about it. Okay, can I do one more? I just
Yeah,
thought
sure.
of one randomly that kind of goes with this.
I want to do another one too.
Okay, that's fine. Taking it back still.
Mm-hmm.
NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and Britney Spears.
Okay, so if we're not talking about them today,
No.
too, like because like Britney Spears, I love you so much, and I've always loved you so much, but like, oh, I don't know what happened. It makes me very sad. But I will marry Britney Spears. Fuck.
Why are you gonna help her?
No, not new. Today's Britney Spears.
Oh, yeah.
Old school Britney Spears. I still have her little CD with the purple and the pink, with the pink, I think it was pink, flower on it. It was like Britney Spears. And I mean, I have all the things. I love her.
You're funny.
I love her music from back then. I loved it. I will marry NSYNC and I will kill Backstreet Boys.
Well,
wait, hold on. Before you go, have you seen the, I think it's like I don't know where it generated from. It's on social media. It's a video, either Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, something like that. Somebody did a video and they were at the bookstore with their kid and the little girl is like, pulls out a book and it's like serial killers and it's like the top 50 serial killers. And she's like, there are pictures of them on the front. And she's like, is this the Backstreet Boys? Oh, no. And the girl's like, no. And she's like, well, who are they? She's like, I'm not sure. It's hilarious, but they did look like the Backstreet Boys.
See that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna blow everybody's mind, but that's fine, and I don't care. R.I.P. to Britney because I'm killing her. I was not a huge like Britney Spears fan growing up. My sister was definitely more than I was, but I was also a Backstreet Boy girl. So I am marrying them, and I'm fucking NSYNC.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought that like Backstreet Boys were like way cooler. You know, Nick Carter was so hot, and Justin Timberlake looked like he had ramen noodles on top of his head.
Oh my God. Justin Timberlake is the best. Nick Carter, not so much. R.I.P. Aaron.
And I'm not even like into blondes either, but like Nick Carter was fine.
No. I liked, well, which one was
Go
it?
tell my 13-year-old self that, okay?
I forgot what his name was. I don't know. I'll think of it later. But yeah. Okay, so I don't have the others for my thing, but I was gonna say, oh, here's some good ones. Okay, the skip it, the bop it, or the light bright.
Oh my God.
You're talking about a light bright?
Yeah, I liked the light bright. I actually used it a lot. So, what was the bop it thing?
It's like bop it, pull it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Twist it.
No, that thing is dying because that's
and it's like
very annoying. Yeah, I was good at skip it, so I'm probably gonna marry skip it, and then I'll fuck light bright because like I go through spurts where I want to be creative, so it's not like all the time. Like it's not a toy.
Do you
that I could
not
sit
go
down
through
with.
spurts where you want to be like exercising on your skip it?
I was good at the skip it. We all know that I like to be good at things, so I'm marrying the skip it,
gotcha.
Emily.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I'm fucking light bright, and I'm killing the bop it because that thing was annoying. Yeah.
Bop it, twist it,
pull it, shut up.
And it was like, and then if you like got it wrong, it was like boom, 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 something like crazy. Oh my God. Okay. All right. That's it for the FMKs of the day. Unless you got another one you want to keep going.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm good.
We could go all day long with the 90s.
Probably so, honestly.
All right. So today we feel like we want to talk about the cancel culture in these times and the past times of the cancel culture. Because today I got an email from, I think it was like Ticketmaster or something. And it said that Ryan Adams is going to be playing at Avondale Brewing Company, which is in Birmingham. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love Ryan Adams. Like, I'm going to see if I can get tickets. And then it was like telling me I needed a pre-sale code, and I didn't realize they weren't actually on sale to the public yet. So I get on Instagram to see if there's a code, like a pre-sale code. And I see all the comments on the Avondale page where they posted that Ryan Adams is going to play, and it's like all these people being pissed off because apparently Ryan Adams like did some bad stuff to females or to children. I don't know. Like
I didn't read it. There's a New York Post article, right? Or New York Times.
Yeah,
New
I
York
didn't read
Times
all of it.
article, I think, out there, and I didn't read a whole lot of it, but the gist that I got was that he essentially used his, fame and popularity to kind of promise upward mobility for, young female singers.
Yeah.
And it was not necessarily, I didn't interpret it as in exchange for sexual favors, but it was the undertone of, the scenario, I guess, if you will. So,
oh, okay.
it just seems like he was taking advantage of his position.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's interesting because I didn't know. And people are like, some girl said something like, I can't believe y'all are doing this. Maybe you didn't realize it. We're going to hope that you guys figure it out and cancel this show.
I'll be curious to see if that happens.
Yeah. But I kind of still want to go. And that's where I was like, oh my God, can I even buy a ticket? Like if I show up and am I supporting somebody who is like, doesn't do things that I would like, I don't know.
Right.
Like, where do you draw the line on like what somebody does with their life and like whether or not could he have made a mistake and has gotten better after that? I don't know. Like, where do you draw the line on that?
Right.
Then it's like, okay, if I go to this because I want to listen to the music and I didn't even know about him doing that before, are people going to hate on me later because I went to the Ryan Adams concert?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so it's a little worse than what I thought. Rolling Stone has an article out there about this woman who claims that when she was 14 years old, he engaged in phone sex and had Skype calls where he exposed himself to her. So that is definitely not cool. I don't know what the time frame is of when that happened regardless.
Have you seen anything where he's like admitted to it or like did they go to trial? I don't know. Like what's the deal?
I didn't. I just was reading.
Does it have a time? You don't know what the time frame
2019 was the Rolling Stone article.
Interesting. Yeah. See, I don't know. I'm torn because I like want to go, but also I don't.
Moore is also claiming some sexual misconduct.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
So it sounds to be a little bit deeper than maybe what we originally thought, but it sounds like this is what he is making an attempt to be his sort of kind of comeback. And in 2020, he did apologize for harmful behavior. So it sounds like he has been accused and apologized, but maybe there were no court filings in reference to it. But yeah. I guess, and I understand what you're saying about, where's the line that gets drawn? Because, you've got people who are repeat offenders like R. Kelly out there, and it's like, is this person in the same boat? Did he make, some inappropriate and misguided choices, when he was younger and has educated himself and, apologized and really owned the behavior and is a different person? Or is it, a public apology to kind of put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole?
Yeah. And then also like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes if you don't like punish would be the word, somebody for something. So like not canceling a person or whatever, they can just be like, oh, well, nobody cared, so I'm just going to keep doing it. So like if he hasn't learned, like what if we're going out and supporting him again after he did all that and people said something, like maybe is he going to think, oh, I can still go out and make a living. I can still do these bad things and still like be a whatever I am.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's between a rock and a hard place in a sense, because I'm not a huge fan of cancel culture. I don't know that I agree with it. I think that if somebody, does something that's wrong, or they made a bad choice, or, said something that was inappropriate or, racist or whatever, if you take the steps to educate yourself and be better, then that, should be enough. If you're going to be a shitty human and keep doing the bad behavior, then yeah, cancel your ass.
Yeah. Well, and so, okay, so there's another thing. I just thought about this. I saw something on the news, I guess, saying that Kanye, so because of Kanye or Ye or whatever we want to call him now, I'm going to call him Kanye because that's what I know him as.
Dumbass.
Yeah. Because of him being anti-Semitic and all this stuff, Nike, is it Nike, I guess, that he had the contract with? Whoever he had the contract with for his shoes, they're going to like, somebody said something about burning all the shoes. I don't think that Nike said that, but I think that there was like that has been done in the past. If somebody got canceled or whatever, or if they were like, okay, well, we're not going to sell your shoes anymore because of this. But what are they going to do with the shoes? They're wasting all this product because
instead of giving them to folks who need them.
And see, I'm surely they will come up with something like that. But I think that
I would hope so.
I think they said that maybe they're going to rebrand them and sell them as something else. And I'm like,
what's the point of that? It's still a Yeezy, if you will.
I mean, I guess he wouldn't get money from it. You know, I guess they canceled his contract.
Continuing to sell them without him receiving royalties is still, I mean, I don't know. The idea, concept, design stemmed from him. It still represents him regardless of whether or not he's making money in everybody's eyes. When you visually see that shoe, sandal, whatever it was, you're going to know that's what it was. And
but I mean that even if you give them to people, give them away, that's still the same thing. I mean, it's like, but you can't just, I mean, that's so wasteful.
100%. I mean, fast fashion is a huge issue in this country in and of itself. So, to waste product like that is crazy. Unless you can recycle it and use it as something else when you burn it, then otherwise repurpose.
Yeah, but even recycling it, that's just using more energy and all that stuff and like more pollution and stuff like that. It was just like it's just wasteful. I don't know.
Sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's the whole thing. So my other thing with like the Ryan Adams stuff is, and this might be controversial. So we had the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, and Amber Heard was found guilty in the trial or whatever. And so basically they said that she lied and basically like claimed that she was part of this Me Too movement, but she wasn't. And so that's happened with her. Who's to say that other people haven't done that to like get, noticed or to get,
I mean, I think that there's always it sucks because I think that there will always be people who are going to make false claims to try and be a part of a movement or, what have you, even to punish somebody, and say this man or woman, whatever, did this, XYZ to me. And it very well could not be true. It's just unfortunate for the victims, the people who are true victims of something, like that, sexual assault, what have you, because it makes those people not want to come forward.
Right.
And that sucks.
Well, then it also makes other people not feel like other people feel like maybe those other people could be lying too.
Right.
Yeah. Like what
the boy who cried wolf. Absolutely.
Yeah. You're lowering their stance, I guess, or their like, their point.
I would say their level of empathy, maybe even, and believing somebody, and it's unfortunate for sure.
Yeah. And so that to me, like, just because somebody comes out and says, oh, so-and-so did this, does that mean I should believe them? Like, yeah, like, and we've been taught, well, not taught, but like with the Me Too movement, you want to believe the victims and things like that. But then when you have somebody that's like, that lies, and especially somebody like Amber Heard, who is like in the public eye, who has the means to not lie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she doesn't have to like, to be that way to get famous. She's already famous, like, or to be in a movement or something.
Or relevant.
Yeah. So who do you believe? And is it okay for you to believe that the other person didn't do something wrong?
I mean, I think that if, somebody were to ever, approach you about something like that, you have to, hear them out with an open mind and an open heart, and trust that they are coming to you with a truth. And, if they're not, then that's their burden to bear.
Right. And that just sucks.
Yeah.
Especially when
It
it's like
sucks for the
somebody
other
that's not, it's
people.
not like somebody like when this with the celebrity stuff, we can't have like a person come to us personally and be like, hey, I didn't do this or whatever. They can, release something from their publicist. It's going to be like,
Yeah.
all made to sound good.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know we talked about this last week, and it's, kind of similar, kind of, not, but this whole Vanderpump Rules and, Raquel and Tom Sandoval and her PR team's, strategy was kind of leaked, and they want to, play her as a victim, in all this. And again, that is a terrible thing to do. She's trying to make herself less hated is what I think, because she made a terrible decision and, allowed herself to participate in infidelity of her best friend's boyfriend. So it just sucks. But like, you can't call yourself a victim when you're really not a victim just because you're in the public eye and you don't want, people commenting all over your Instagram, because it makes real people not want to come out and say something,
Right.
be a true victim.
Right.
You're not stupid. You know what you did. You're a grown up. You had sex with somebody you shouldn't have been having sex with. You don't get to say you're stupid.
I mean, I don't understand why like people want to cancel other people to begin with. I mean, I get it. Like maybe, if you don't agree with that person, whatever, but like trying to like blast somebody for making a mistake. Like sometimes people make a mistake. What if every time we made a mistake, they were like, I mean, I would have been done a long time ago. Every time, because like when I was a child, like what if as soon as we should make a movie or write a book, like it's like the cancel culture world, and as soon as you turn 18, any mistake you make, you're like canceled, and you have to go to like dig up radioactive material and die at like in the colonies.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because when I was on my way over here, my stepdad's birthday is today, March 9th. So happy birthday, Mitchie. They were with my mom, and Mitch were with our neighbors. They're next door neighbors, and we've lived next door to them ever since we lived in that house. And so they were all out celebrating. Well, their youngest son, James, he lives in Florida, and he's up visiting, and he hopped on the phone with me. And so I was just catching up with him or whatever, and what bar they were at, I'd never been there before. And he was like, what? You've never been here? And I was like, no, but I mean, you have to remember, like, I wasn't 21 when I was, living up there. I moved back to Birmingham when I was 20. And he was like, yeah, but why'd that stop you? And I said, the only time it stopped me is when somebody, asked for an actual ID. I said, one time I did get a fake ID, and I went to the bar, and I didn't even know my name. So I came home that weekend. I was so proud of myself. I was like, Mom, look at my fake ID. My name is blah, blah. And she's like, no, it isn't. I had been calling myself the wrong name for my fake ID.
Oh my God.
And James was like, Sarah, you need to write a book. And I was like, I'm going to talk about it on the podcast.
That's not good. But what, like, when you go into a place, are they like, what's your name? While you're like looking at your ID?
I was probably 19 or 20. And I was just using it, but I was calling myself that all night, as if the bartender gave a single shit what my name was out of everybody else in that bar. And I was like, my name is Savannah, blah, blah, blah. And then when I got home that weekend, my mom was like, your name is Susanna. And I was like, all right,
Savannah,
then.
Susanna, can't read. There's an N, not a V. Well, so another thing, like with the cancel culture, so like comedians, they can't go out and say, like, if you were a comedian, like us being on here, we're not necessarily comedians, but like there are certain things that we're like, oh, we can't say that. We can't talk about this because, it's offensive. And also it's offensive to us, like, but like certain things you just can't say. But comedians used to be able to come out and be like, like Dave Chappelle can be like, oh, white people this and white people that. But like,
I was watching Chris Rock before
Yeah.
I came over here. I think he has a new Netflix stand-up. Okay, so I didn't get too far into it, but we were talking about how, I guess he was talking about Meghan Markle and Harry and like that whole interview, that kind of happened, and how, she said that the royal family kind of asked her, how how dark skin is the baby gonna be? Because she's fairly light
They
skinned.
said that?
I guess.
Oh my God.
And Chris Rock was like, well, first of all, that's not racist. Even black people want to know how black their child is going to be. And they were like, but also, you're talking about the royal family. They've been racist for years, which this is not me saying this. This is Chris Rock or whatever. Then he started talking about interracial relationships and what it would be like for a white guy to bring a black girl home, and that it would be so much easier. Like, a black family is not going to accept a white girl very well.
Oh yeah,
And
100%. Especially the females in the family.
Yes, and
I haven't watched that, but yeah.
He was like, that's like, somebody going home and they look over and they see this white woman there and they say, why is DHR sitting at my table? Social services. And the husband was like, Mama, that's my wife. We've been married for 9 years. You got grandchildren. It was so funny. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But like talking about other people and
But
making
white people
fun of
say what he's just said.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think the race thing's a little different than some other things. Like talking about somebody like maybe their weight or like what they did or being stupid or something like that, and calling somebody out for something. I just think that it's not like
everybody gets their feelings hurt.
Right. Stop getting your freaking feelings hurt.
Like, if you are one of 1,500 people in an audience and you, like me, it would be like me sitting in an audience and somebody made a fat joke and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker right here, I'm canceling him. I'm not listening to this person anymore.
Right.
And it's like,
a
it's
joke.
not personal.
And it's not, those people make jokes and they're not doing it to like target anybody.
It may not even be their own thought, opinion,
right?
Feeling on a certain
It's probably
matter.
just like a thing that's happening in the world, right?
Yes,
yeah.
It's not like everything that they believe internally is word vomit out of their mouth.
Yeah, and if they were, then they would be like Hitler, and we would not we would cancel them, of course.
I mean, these are like sets that they put together for themselves. Every story that they tell flows into the next thing.
Yeah,
it's not that serious.
Well, there was a guy, and I don't know who he was. I think he was a comedian that was talking about that Chris Rock stuff and how he was talking about, I guess, Will Smith and all that stuff, and on, I think it was like the Today Show or I don't know, one of those morning shows. It might have been yesterday, and he was like, it's not, when you're making a joke about these things, they do these things, it's not to make fun of or to like do anything to like to offend people. It's to bring awareness to the matter. Like, right. So, and it's usually like something that's happening in the world that they're like trying to bring out, like, oh, ha ha ha, this was happening, and now I'm going to make fun of it. Yes,
but also bring it to the forefront
right.
of the conversations in the world.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's making fun of something, not like, no, we're not laughing. We're laughing with you, not at you, kind of thing. I guess.
100%.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Yeah, and other people need to learn to loosen up.
Yeah, for sure. And here I am saying that when I have the most feelings in the whole entire world, and I get them hurt often. But I agree. Everybody needs to lighten up.
Yeah, agreed. Well, you just want everybody to lighten up for you, but you want other people to lighten up so that you can make the jokes at 100%.
Them. 100%.
But they're not allowed to.
I breathe fire when it comes to my jokes to other people, but I cannot take it. Absolutely, 100%.
That's so bad.
Listen, I try to be better, and I try not to get my feelings hurt, but sometimes I do.
Sometimes.
Why do you say sometimes like you want to say always? I do not always
Don't make
get
me
my
answer that
feelings
question.
hurt.
You do get your feelings hurt a lot, so.
I do. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
She wears her heart on her, yes. She's got heart pasties. And those titties stick out real far. So they coming out, her heart's coming way before she is.
You're so crazy.
So then also, so another thing is celebrity influence on people. So, and not the influencing culture or whatever de-influencing, we'll talk about that later, but like celebrities that have like, should a celebrity be able to use their platform and their voice, their fame, to say what they want with politics or whatever they feel like? And you know, I guess in my opinion, and I kind of go back and forth because I've heard a lot of people say, I love this person's music. I love this person's whatever, but I don't want to go to their concert and hear them talk about their politics and what they believe. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that because like that's how they can get their voice out there. But
I disagree with that.
I think that if the singer or whoever wants to go out there and say what they want to do, then they know that if they say that they're going to lose like followers or people like their fans, then I guess that's, you know, an even thing.
I mean, I guess my feeling on it is if you're going to a concert, that's what you're going for is a concert. And this is just in reference to concerts specifically and what you just said. But if you're going to a concert, you're going to hear music. You're not going to hear some speech on political views or whatever.
Agreed, yeah.
You can use your platform to, you know, put out there, you know, whatever you believe in or how you feel, you know, your opinion, your stance on anything. That's cool. Do it on Instagram.
Right.
Don't do it in the middle of a show that, you know, people who genuinely like your music just came to hear your music. I just think you could separate it a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be some campaign trail on a concert tour.
Right. And same with like the whole Ryan Adams thing, should you stop going to concerts for somebody who may have a different political view than you do and they post it on Instagram? And is it fair for us to not go see that person's concert if they have a different political view than we do or a different opinion on something?
I feel like that's a personal choice.
Yeah, but it's like...
I think the whole... It's just political views and like sexual misconduct, sexual assault, whatever. Those are two very different things.
Yes, of course.
I think that, like, for example, the Chicks, you know, who used to be the Dixie Chicks, they're pretty much raging Republicans. At least some of them are anyways. Am I a liar?
Yes, they're very Democrat.
Can you delete that, please?
No, this
Why?
is funny because you think that they're raging Republicans.
Stop. Don't.
Yeah.
I quit. Okay. I quit. I'm done.
No, do you not remember the reason that they basically got canceled? It's because she was like, basically, fuck George Bush.
Oh,
like,
no, I forgot.
She was like, our president sucks.
Then.
Okay,
so I lied. That's a bad example.
No.
I'm trying to think of another example. I can't.
What are you trying to...
Please, people, Thick AF podcast listeners, don't hate me. I don't know anything about the Dixie Chicks, obviously. I'm not a fan. I think I killed them in my FMK.
Honestly, I didn't really care. I don't really care about what they have to say politically. I like their music. And that's my thing. It's like, you know what? In my opinion... You should have your political. It's like at your house. If you have parents that are you should be able to keep your stuff private, however you want to do it. I get that there needs to be people that teach other people, but like you should. I don't care what you're going to vote for, and I'm not going to judge you for voting the way that you vote.
100%.
I might take your opinion into consideration, but I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to your concert ever again because you said that you liked this person and you're a Democrat or you're a Republican or you're a libertarian or whatever.
I also think that there can be tact to the way that you put that out there. Like, it doesn't have to be put out there in a my way or the highway kind of way. Mm-hmm. You can just say, this is, what I think, what I feel, what I believe, and just leave it at that. You don't have to have this whole, you need to feel the same way that I feel or, get lost from my page kind of thing.
And they shouldn't, but like, I feel like, and it's not the celebrities that are doing that. I think it's us as fans are saying, oh, it's my way or the highway, and that person is not my way, so I'm hitting the highway, I guess. Yeah. And I'm not gonna and I'm just like, why can't you just get over that? Like, get over and why do we hate each other for stuff like that? Why are we hateful?
100%.
Why can't we just love each other?
Crime to have an opinion.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Can't have an opinion, but no, you need to have an opinion, but it can't be different than mine.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it's just nutty the way that some of that stuff happens, and all these people that spend their time and effort trolling people on the internet that have differing opinions from them is a waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
Stop. Go do something else. I can't stand that. It's hard. I go sometimes in TikTok and I'm looking for like trying to follow, a thread or find out where something is from, or maybe, in the drama a little bit, who they might be talking about. But then some of these comments, they are just ripping these people to shreds. And most of these people on TikTok are average Joes.
Oh, and
like,
that right there, those people, our friend Christina got banned from Tinder for doing nothing. And these people on TikTok and Instagram,
for doing nothing.
Yeah, and so did Sarah. But people on TikTok, Twitter, whatever, nobody gets banned for being a-holes.
No.
Like, what? How is that even possible? I get it. It's like dating, but like still, they should have proof.
I mean, it's just wild. Like, and TikTok does have guidelines as far as like, I couldn't go on your page and you post this video and I say, go kill yourself. Like, I am going to they do ban people on TikTok. Yeah. But like, so you can't do that. But I mean, some of these other comments are just awful. Like, they're not going to ban somebody because, you call someone fat or ugly, and that still hurts people's feelings.
Well, then, if they did start doing that, then people would be like, it would be the whole Twitter thing where, oh, you're not allowing us to, like, freedom of speech and blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. We are America, and we want like all these like freedoms, and we want to be able to do this, but then we also have
bitch at each other about
it.
And
it's like everybody hates each other. Why can't we just like be loving people and just like come together and be nice about everything? I just don't understand why everybody has to be so hateful.
Because everybody is bored. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. People are bored. They have nothing better to do than bitch and complain.
I have so many things to do.
I mean, I know, but you're not bitching and complaining.
I know, but like, why can't they go out and do something? I have got so many things for you guys to do. So many things.
How many Karen videos do you keep seeing coming up? These things are going viral left and right. When are people going to learn a lesson to not be a dickhead? I saw this video the other day of this woman sitting in her car. She had a doctor's appointment. And it was cold outside or whatever, and I couldn't get a real good view of like what the situation was like. I don't think she was quite in a parking deck, but it looked to be like wherever she was at had limited parking. Well, she's in her car, and some woman comes up and starts harassing her. It's like, you don't need to be here. If you're done, you need to go home because this bitch is waiting for a parking spot. Go away, ma'am. That is ridiculous. I mean, it was insanity.
Yeah, people are wild.
If that is all, and the lady who was coming up to her car bitching at her was driving a Range Rover. You literally have nothing better to do, you asshole. Go home.
Yeah. I mean, so, I try to think about this time. I was in this leadership development class, and there's a lady that I really admire teaching the class. Her name is, I won't say names, but she one time told us, she was like, because I guess she drove back and forth from Montgomery to Opelika, is where the hospital that I worked was. And she told us, she was like, yeah, sometimes I'm on the road, and like if somebody's going either speeding by me or going too slow or something like that, like you want to stop and you want to get mad and be like, why are you passing me? Why are you why are you doing whatever you're doing on the road? But you don't know what's going on in that person's life, and you don't know whether or not, that lady might have been going to somewhere, and she was trying to get somewhere. She was late for her appointment, and she didn't, or somebody was in the emergency room, who knows? And they needed to get in there and she was stressed out because maybe she found out she got cancer or something. Who knows? Or somebody was in the hospital and she needed to get to that person, and they were trying to get out. And I don't know. Sometimes you just need to overlook those things, but also the person on that side that's yelling and screaming needs to like take a chill pill.
They need to do some introspective thinking.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've done something like that, but like, I mean, we all have our moments, and I hate it that if somebody has one moment, hopefully that person has had multiple moments like that. And that's not the only time that happened to them. And then they got blown up on the internet, because that would suck if it happened to me and I was like, turned into a Karen because I had one bad day.
Yeah, but your bad day is never going to be something like that.
You never know, though. You don't know that I might get a bunch of stress on me, and one day something really bad happens, and I freak out because of one little thing like that. That could happen. That can happen to anybody. Yeah. It can happen.
I mean, I guess.
And
I
try to.
I'd like
I don't
to think
know.
it won't, but
Oh, hopefully it won't.
Yeah.
But like it might, and you never know what's going to happen in your life. And I try to think about it that way. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be that person that is judging somebody for losing it one time. I mean, if you do it over and over again, or if you're doing it about
crazy.
If you're doing it about like race or like, like the other people that were like, oh, you're a black person in my neighborhood, you don't belong here, that kind of thing.
Or not
that's
letting
messed
people
up.
into a building
that's not right.
And being like, you don't live here, you don't live here.
Right. Yeah, we know you don't live here because you are not white and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's not right. That's messed up.
Definitely not.
But like somebody, I don't know, losing it because of, I don't know. I try to go sparingly with my hate towards those people because it might happen to me, and I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all need to understand that none of us are perfect. We're all just trying to fake it till we make it. Not everybody, but
absolutely.
Like fake it till you make it.
I agree with you. And I mean, I don't like hate these people or whatever that are, acting like idiots and just hateful and mean and whatever. But I'm just like, why? Like, I can't wrap my head around that behavior.
I agree. I mean, I see you. I would, if that happened to me, I would be like, what is happening?
I know. I really don't even know what I would do.
I would probably just roll up my window and be like, I am so sorry. Is there something I can help you with? I will let you have this parking spot right now. But can I also help you do something else? I don't know. I would hopefully I would do something like that because I feel like that person needed help and needed you. So in that point, you can be the bigger person and help that person realize that they were being an a-hole.
Yeah.
Like, don't fight. If you fight back, you're just going to piss them off and make them worse, and they're going to do it again. And they're going to be like, oh, well, it's their fault, and blah, blah, blah. And they were being what? But if you're just like a bigger person and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What can I do to help you? Let me get this.
Instance, that woman was, not yelling back. She was not being hateful.
Yeah.
I mean, the lady was like calling her fat and stuff like that was waiting for the parking spot. And I mean, it was just, it was too much, and she wasn't reacting at all.
Well, then that's another thing is that lady may have been going through something, the lady that was screaming, but the person in the car could have just found out they had cancer.
And she was sitting in her car.
Or like somebody could have just died or whatever. Or she might be depressed.
Crying
hoping maybe she was about to go jump off the parking deck. Like, who knows?
Right.
Like that type of thing is, you've got to, everyone needs to understand that what you do affects other people.
Yes, and not only that, but how you react.
Yes.
Matters as well, and how you receive, people's opinions matters, and how you react to those. I mean, it's all a circle. Everything matters. I mean, can people come back from, bad behavior? Yes, I think that they can.
Oh,
but
yeah,
they have to
sure.
make the choice to do that.
Yeah, I definitely think that. And you know what? Like, I hope that, I don't know. I hope that if somebody did that to me, I wouldn't record it and post it on the internet, because I don't know, unless that person did something real bad. I might send it to y'all, to my friends, but I don't do social media, but I probably wouldn't post it on the internet unless it was like, I
don't know if I could either.
Because I feel like if it were like, I try to think about myself, like what if I was having a bad day and I like lost it on somebody?
They're posting it on the internet.
Yeah, they are definitely posting it on the internet, but I would hope
unfortunately for you.
And then at that point, I'd have to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go in here and apologize and do like an and be like, this is what happened to me, and I hope you guys believe me.
I mean, I just want to know when people are going to
stop posting stuff on the internet.
Well, yeah, stop posting, but also stop the bad behavior, because there are so many internet sleuths out there that could find you, and they have found people, and these people have gotten fired from their jobs, some rightfully so. But like these viral videos are sometimes taken to the extreme where employers are contacted, family members are contacted. Like, people take it
for
far.
What? Like, what do you mean? Like, contacted for?
I would say it's more when it's like physical altercations, or if it's like racist behavior, things like that. Yeah. These people on the internet will go figure out who that person is. I mean, if this video goes viral, somebody in that town, in that city, in a radius close to that person who is the offender is going to recognize that person. They're going to identify them. They're going to figure out go to their LinkedIn, figure out where they work, communicate with whoever that person is that identifies them. They can figure all that out. People have gotten fired.
Well, this kind of goes towards that cancel culture thing. It's like, it can happen to us too, but like that to me is like, shoot, what if I had a bad day?
Canceled because I said the Dixie Chicks were Republicans.
No, you were not. Everybody's gonna look. I think that's weird that you didn't know that they're definitely not Republicans.
I was not ever a fan of theirs.
They're like 100% not Republican. They're like way not Republican.
Well, let me tell you, I will never forget it. Okay.
Okay.
I have learned. You learn something new every day, Em.
But nobody's gonna cancel you because you didn't know. Or that you made a mistake.
I was going to come up with this super profound example. It was not.
But like we might cancel you if you yell at somebody later tonight.
I don't yell at anybody. I don't know why you think I'd be yelling.
I didn't say you were. I'm just saying if you do.
The only one I yell at is you.
You never yelled at me.
When you tell me how to drive.
You didn't really yell at me though. You just were like, this should not be a thing right now. And I was like, oh, you're right. But I could tell. I was like, she was holding back a yell. She wanted to yell. Oh, Lord.
I yell at my dog. That's about it. She's a little angel baby nugget.
Yeah. I used to yell at my cat a lot. When I first got him, I did a lot.
He's the president of the Bad Kitty Club.
On that one. What?
He's the president of the Bad Kitty Club.
Well, he's not anymore.
And the best
He's so good. But when I first got him, I was giving him up every day. I was like, when can I find And I didn't want him to begin with. I accidentally got him. Like I found him and I was trying to find his owner. They didn't have a microchip. He was a baby kitty. I mean, he was like lost on the street. Yeah. Like, he was on the streets. He was a street kitty.
Yeah.
And he was just so bad. Like everything, he was tearing up something.
My favorite was back when he would climb between the sliding glass door and the screen door, and he would just be like,
in between and squished.
Yeah, spread out, stuck, like not stuck, but like just squeezed between there, thinking that he was living his best damn life, climbing up that screen door.
He doesn't climb up it anymore, but like he can't. I don't think he can fit between now, but he can still. Not. He hasn't climbed up that in a long time. So I did, and I think they say you're not supposed to like spray bottle your cats. Oh man, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't have to spray him anymore. He knows the word no most of the time. Sometimes he's like, "Oh, you said no. I heard it. I'm looking at you. You said no, but I'm going to still do it and see if you." He's testing my, and I'm like, no, but he's good now. He just like I wanted to give him away, and I couldn't. So I was like, oh, I got to find somebody, but then I couldn't do it, and I was not keeping that cat. But then I fell in love with him, and he's the sweetest. He's got extra claws.
He is the coolest.
Yeah.
He has such a great personality, though.
He does. He's like a little person, a little man.
Like an old man with a monocle and a cigar.
Yeah, and he needs like he's waiting. He sits with it like sideways with like a person with his arm up in the chair. We need to post a picture of him on.
Yeah, I'll have to find it.
And my neighbor Catherine, and friend, she made me for my birthday. She made me cocktail napkins with him on it, like. With his little bow tie. He's so cute. Oh my God, I love him. Anyways, do you want to talk about de-influencing?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before, and I think that our opinions differ on this one just a little bit, but yes. I'm still seeing a lot on TikTok of what they're calling de-influencing, where, these content creators and makeup artists and things like that are picking products that may have been, sent to them in PR boxes or whatever. And I don't know, if they've had working relationships with any of these brands before or not. But now, they're kind of speaking out and saying, here, I'm going to do a full face of makeup of, products that I wouldn't recommend or I don't like or whatever. And they're calling it de-influencing. And I totally understand where Emily is coming from because, she says that's basically influencing.
It is influencing. And to prove my point, today I Googled it and I was like, I was trying to look up other things about de-influencing.
Yeah.
And like one of the first things that came up was a BuzzFeed news. BuzzFeed's news
BuzzFeed.
Crap. BuzzFeed news article, and it's titled, "Sorry, but the de-influencing trend is just influencing." And I was like, oh my God, I immediately sent it to Sarah. I didn't even read it. And I was like, it's the truth. And we talked about this, I think, on one of our recent episodes, because it's like, de-influencing isn't really a word. They just made that up. Influencing.
100%.
You're influencing one way or the other.
Right.
And like, why? Like,
it's still bringing brands and product names to the forefront, even if they're saying I wouldn't recommend. It's still talking about them. It's still getting the name out there, regardless of what the intention is. The intention is to say, I didn't like this. You might, but I don't recommend purchasing, whatever. Yeah. But it is still putting those products in front of people's faces, and people may try them.
I feel like, if these influencers, instead of trying to make a buck and just like posting about every little product so they can get free product or whatever, do stuff that's like actually good and like tell the truth. And you don't have to de-influence.
Yeah.
To do that. Like, also, when you're a de-influencer or de-influencing, how do you make money?
Well, I don't know how the whole PR world works, so I would really love to do, some research on that and kind of figure it out, because, these PR boxes are free for these people. But is there a contractual agreement for that? Or are these people, you're sending them to these folks to hope that they use these products in their video when they're creating content, and you also hope that there's a good review? Or again, is there a contract in place? Do they have to use, these products? Do they have to use a set number of products? Do they have to give a positive review? Like, what is the story behind all that? Because I would be super curious. And, if they're choosing products that to quote unquote de-influence, are there repercussions for that?
Right. Yeah.
Or is it just a free for all, and you can give a good review at one point because, you have a contract with somebody, but let's say that contract is 6 months long and you've ended it. Do you get to go back and shit on that product now?
Well, so I will tell you that, like, my dad, and I may be getting this wrong, but he worked for a radio station. It was completely different than an influencer. But they had advertisers that would come in and they would have, so for instance, like Sleep Number. They would give, and I think that he had to pay for it with his, think that they would give him like a certain amount off the bed or something, probably got a discount. And then they would give him the bed, and he would use basically him doing the advertisement paid for the bed. So we had to do so many, to get the bed. I don't really know how that worked.
Yeah.
Or like maybe they would give like a restaurant or something would give like a free meal to them so that they could do the thing. But like when you're advertising with a company, even though that type of like on a radio station, they don't do bad advertisements. And right. I feel like influencers should have been, before, they were supposed to be people who told you whether or not something was good or whether or not something was bad, and telling you the truth about the product, their right. actual review, not an advertisement like on a radio station or like on a TV station. This is different, but now it's become an advertisement so that they can make money like they would on a radio station or TV station.
There are separate paid partnerships. I do want
right. That's what I'm saying. That would be the same thing. Yeah.
But it's not, though, because the paid partnerships have to have that paid partnership acknowledgement within that video. So some of these other
right.
videos are just content, creators putting videos
right.
out there with whatever products they want. So, I mean, it's definitely a mix. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. The paid partnerships are obviously going to be something good.
Right.
They're getting paid.
Well, and I don't know. I mean, maybe they're not doing reviews on the stuff that they're getting paid for. I don't know.
Right. I am curious about that. I may do some research and come back to us.
Yeah, but my dad was never going to be like, "Oh yeah, I got the Sleep Number bed and it was terrible." But they still have it, so like they still have one, and they got one after and he's retired. So I mean, it's not like he was lying necessarily. It just he had to do it. It was his job. Yeah, like it was his job absolutely. To advertise.
Well, and I mean, I think it shouldn't go unnoticed that like these content creators, that's also their job.
Yeah. Exactly. And but it wasn't in my
Right.
thing is like back in the day of YouTube starting to become a thing.
100,000%.
It was not their job.
Absolutely.
And it became that. And now it's like,
yes,
it's like a TV.
It's a very different world now.
Yes.
For sure.
Which is, it sucks because like, how do you know if it's actually a good review?
I mean, you do have some folks out there that do give honest, genuine reviews, and I'm not sure that they have any, paid partnerships and things like that. They may make money otherwise, in other ways or whatever, but you got to be careful, who you choose to follow and things like that. But also, I say you got to be careful. We don't know these people. We see them on a social media platform of sorts. There's no way that we could know, what they are like or their lives or how they really feel or the products that they use are what they say they are unless we were behind those doors.
Well, then, yeah, that's true. But I appreciate the ones that will be like, hey, I didn't get paid for this. And, or they'll like, for instance, like if I got something and later on, I tried it on the first day I got it and I told you guys about it. Like, for instance, the Skims panties. And then a couple weeks later, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, some of the panties that I got had like a really skinny vajayjay area and like us big girls. Like, so I was watching the Kardashian show and Khloe was telling Kim, hey, by the way, you need to make that thicker because she was like, I guess it doesn't matter for you skinny girls, but or like not skinny, but like little bitty girls, but like us big girls, we need like some more
lip coverage.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, it's so true. Like sometimes, and it's not, I think it was like, I don't know. But anyways, but yeah, I appreciate people that come back and will be like, you know what, I'm changing my review of this because, and that type of thing to me gains my respect. And like, I will come back and watch their reviews more other than the people that are going to be like, oh, I bought this and I'm getting paid. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Hope Scope.
I don't know who that is.
And she gets paid. She gets paid by all kinds of people. I like remember when she was doing it. I don't know how many times she's moved, but like her house looks so much nicer now than when she first started it. She was like back in like not a fancy house and like and now she has like upgraded. Let me upgrade you on YouTube.
Maybe that'll be us one day.
I hope so.
We should post a picture of our space that we recorded.
I know. And then like later on when we get a real studio.
Yeah, exactly. We got to have the before so we can have the after.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We had a great time with you today, this hump day. Can't wait to see you back next hump day.
You can find us on Instagram at ThickAF Podcast. And give us a follow, like our stories, share our stories, recommend us to your friends. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Also, subscribe there, give us a rate and review. And if you have any FMKs, apparently now we also do Would You Rathers. So if you want to send those our way, you can.
Or any other fun things.
Yeah. Comments,
topics, things you want us to talk about, whatever.
Absolutely. We will accept it all.
Yeah.
ThickAFpodcast@gmail.com.
If you guys can help us get 1,000 followers on Instagram, that would be great.
We've broken 100.
Yeah, we've got past 100. We want to get to 1,000. Help us do it. Share our stuff. Tell your friends to follow us. Blah blah blah. Whatever you can do to help us out, that'd be great. Thanks again.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I have to go.
I don't know why it's so good.
Oh my God.